Welcome to video number 23 in our Quick Strike series of videos for February. Today we are going to cover Pricing Tools Calendar Builder. This will allow you to build trades within the same month as well as between spreads between different months. So we'll make sure that you have a full understanding of how to do both before this video is over. Before we get started, let's just set a reminder as to where we are. I currently have my favorite product set to Eurodollars. When you log in for the first time, you will land on the market dashboard product overview page. Okay, and I am able to set these favorite settings in the My Account page where I can choose my favorite product group, my favorite product, and a few other items that will customize the experience that you have within Quick Strike. So let's just get started right in this Pricing Tools menu item right now. We've covered Trade Builder already. We're going to be on Calendar Builder today, like we said. We've covered a portion of the options calculator as part of the pop-up options calculator from the pricing sheet, and that's all we're going to cover from an option calculator standpoint. So this will conclude the Pricing Tools menu item after we cover Calendar Builder today. So let's take a look at that. So the first time we come into the tool, we're going to land on the first product group that you would see as part of the regular expiration selector that would display up here. Okay, so currently we're in the whites, and you can click through to the different expiration groups, and I'm going to click through to the 2 years, and here we are. Okay, so let's describe this page and see what we have. So we have two sets of tabs. We have the entry tab, and then we have the report tab. Report tab is going to be blank right now because we haven't built anything just yet. And once we pick which options we want to be part of our trade and add those to our trade, we'll get shuttled over here to the report tab so you can see what your trade looks like. If you want to open an existing trade, you can, or one that you've currently have saved in the calendar builder, you can click on the new on the open button. And if you want to clear something out to start fresh, you can click on the new button. And then over here in this little view drop down, you'll be able to display one of 4 items. So currently we're on the current theoretical prices. You can look at the settlements in here. You can look at just the calls or just the put. So typically when I'm working with this tool, since I want to price something up, I'm keeping it on prices. Okay, so we have prices selected there. So now this is a little different than our trade builder, but we'll go through this, and by the end you'll be pretty comfortable with how to make this all happen. So you'll notice when I hover over any strike, it's going to pop open a little plus icon there. And guess what? You can click on that plus icon to create the trade. So let's see what happens. I'm on the, here's the puts, right? And here's the calls, and here's the at the money being marked by the shaded area. Okay, just as it is in some of the other areas of Quick Strike. So let's just click on this and see what happens. So this opens up a little box for us. So what we have is a direction to tell us whether we're going to buy or sell that, a quantity, which will not go below 0 because we're not using the quantity to determine what direction of that particular leg is. We're using this selection, buy or sell, to determine the direction of that strike. You have this put is selected because when I clicked on the put, it knew that it was a put, so it defaulted to that. If I clicked on the at the money, it would default to straddle, and if I clicked on to the call side over here, it would default to call, as we can see there, right? Okay, so I'm going to move this up a little bit, so I'm going to show you a couple things. So I have put set. It says what kind of spread am I using? I'm just doing a single option, and then this thing is unclickable here because I'm on a single option. However, if I wanted to quickly build a put spread, I can click on that spread radio button, and these become active and say 1 strike, 2 strike wide, 3 strike, 4 strike. So if I were to add options now, since I clicked on this 98.75 strike, as you see here and here, if I clicked on this add options, it would add a put spread that's 1 strike wide. So I would get 98.75 and 98.625. If I click on 2 strikes wide, I would get 98.75 and 98.50. So let's add this put spread with this 2 strike wide, and let's see what happens. So I'm going to click to add options, and here we got taken to the report section, and you'll see I have a 98.75 put and a 98.50 put. And this page generally looks like our trade builder page does. Okay, so we have all the same information here. We have a little less in terms of some of the tabbing over here, but when it's all said and done, we have the same information that we have over on the trade builder. Okay, so you're satisfied with this, you can save this just like you can elsewhere, right? So I can click on the save button and I can put what I want in there for my title. I can say what premium it traded at. It's going to tell me what the theoretical premium is. I can add the watch, and if I'd like, and this house and make strategy visible to clients, you can ignore that. That's for the enterprise level. Those are being shown here, but they're just disabled because they cannot be used in the professional version, which is what we've been demoing throughout the video series. So we're not going to save this right now. I want to play around a little bit more first. But you'll notice a couple other buttons came up, right? Outside of the save button, there's also the hedge button. So this will bring up where I should be, what I need to hedge, and for the same reasons that this is a factor of 100 over here versus being the actual delta over here, like we explained in the trade builder, is making it easier from a one leg to one leg standpoint. So these match. So don't be put off by the fact that this is multiplied by 100. The scale factor on the presentation is affecting the size here in terms of this is a whole decimal and this is actual decimal. So if I hit OK, my position will go into, my futures position will go in here, and we'll see a hedged position as well. All right, so I can hedge from here just like I can from the trade builder as well. And then if I don't like this and I want to start over again, I can click the new button and it'll clear it out for me. So let's do that again. Let's build, this time let's build a call spread. So I'm going to click on the call, and you'll see that the selections I made over here stay in place. Now that's done for a reason, because a lot of times, in particular in the Eurodollars, they'll do one put spread versus another put spread. So a lot of times they'll buy one and sell another, or buy one call spread, sell another call spread when they're doing a calendar call spread. So we keep it this way. So all you end up having to do is hit the sell button, and then the other side of the trade will be in there very quickly. Okay, so let's do that. Let's build our put spread first. So it's already in place. I'm buying the put spread. So let's add the options. So there I am. I'm right back to where I started from. Now you'll notice one thing we didn't talk about was this history button. So if I click on this history button, this is going to bring up another window which shows the history of this trade. Okay, so you're seeing how this premium has changed over time, what the future looks like, the delta, gamma, vega, and theta. Okay, so you'll say, well, that's integrated in the trade builder. It is, but for the way this tool works, we had to make it as a separate pop-up. And at some point, you can expect that the tools will all be integrated, whether it's a trade builder for an intra-month spread, a calendar spread. At some point, they may very well be integrated so they all work as one tool, but we're still sort of figuring out what we want to do there. Okay, so now you got your long put spread here. So let's go back and let's sell the same put spread in June against it, meaning we did the 98.75, 98.50. But now let's see if when we click on this, remember the spread is still selected, our two strikes still selected. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell it. So really all I have to do a put spread is build the first spread and then click on the strike I want to start with in the other month, and changed it to from buy to sell and hit add options. And now here I am with a put spread. Now I will sort of forewarn you that when you're doing calendar spreads and they have the same underlying future, the charts are generally relevant to the value of what the spread's going to be. But when you start to do spreads that are affected by different futures as their underlying, I tend to not pay much attention to the chart and look more at what's going on over here in the tabular side. Okay, so that was fairly straightforward in building a put spread, and it took not too many clicks. So let's do a couple other things. I'm going to take this and create a new one. Now we talked about when I clicked on a straddle, right, that this thing would populate as a straddle. So now if you want to do a straddle right away, I can click on an at the money, and it's going to populate with that strike as you would expect, but it's going to select the straddle. So the at the money is always going to default to the straddle because it's the expectation that that's what you're looking to do. It's very simple to just click off of that and do the call or the put if you'd like, but let's just build a straddle spread here. Let's buy the June straddle spread, and let's go back to the position entry over here, and we can sell the May just by clicking that, and now we have a straddle spread. Okay, so pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Again, we limit what we're showing over here because some of the information that's in the trade builder doesn't necessarily apply to items when you're thinking of them from a calendar standpoint. But you can build intra-month spreads here. You can build the calendar spreads here. We're working on doing cross-product spreads right now. That's not quite available yet. But the one last thing before we leave, I'll show you one other way of doing things. So now let's look at that May put spread again, and I'm going to buy that May put spread. Okay. Actually, let's do the spread, 2-strike wide. I'm going to say okay. And before, here's our spread again, so you can inspect that you did the right thing. And before I stayed within the 2-year mids here, I can go over to the 3-year mids and do the same thing, and it's going to keep that same stuff there. And I can hit sell, and I did a May 2-year mid versus a May 3-year mid. Okay, so you can do calendars within the group. You can do calendars outside the group. It's easy enough once you know that when you hover and you click on that plus sign, that your ability to enter trades will be right in front of you, okay? So let's clear this off and look at one other thing before we go, since we have a little bit of time left before we need to stop. So now if I click on that spread again, you could build 1x2s, flies, trees, condors, and it's always going to anchor with the strike that you clicked on first. Okay, so if I do a 1x2, that's 2-strike wide, it's going to take that strike and then count 2 and then put -2 of those in there. Okay, so play around with this. I think you'll find it fairly useful and very easy to build spreads across multiple expirations very quickly. So we hope you enjoyed that calendar builder demo. If you have any questions, as I mentioned in most videos, please feel free to email us over at support by clicking on this button and going over to the support form. In the meantime, get some practice building some calendar spreads. We hope you're watching and enjoying the other videos. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop us a line at support. So we'll talk to you soon, and thanks again for watching these videos.